Okay, there you go. So this is the October 2021 new moon reading. Just dealt the cards a bit ago, and it's kind of seeing what we have. So it's interesting that we start off with a moon card on the head, in the head position, and then we have on the lifeline or timeline position, we have the hangman. Then we have the devil. In the spine section here, we have the star, which again is very fitting. And then the Fool card and Temperance to balance that out. We'll go over these here in a second. And then on the foundation, the base, we have the Death card and the Magician. This is actually a pretty interesting setup, and kind of goes with some things that I have felt that's coming on for this month. A lot of changes taking place, and a lot of balancing characters going on. So let's get into it. So we have the moon here on the top in the headship position, which is wonderful because this is a new moon reading, and that this is also a right side up moon, and so we are really looking into some deeper meanings, some hidden meanings, kind of a read between the lines type of thing, and that's very fitting for it. And so we come over here and we start our timeline lifeline row here, which the moon is a water card, and so the hangman is a water card, and that's kind of neat how that's balanced out. The devil, which is not a bad card for those of you that are new to this. The devil is a change maker, kind of more of an overemphasizing ability. Just a few drops of the devil is all you need for a big change, if you want to think of it like that. And so gates of matter is how this esoteric deck reads for the devil, which is really true, because he's kind of got his hand on the throttle between what shows and doesn't show in this world, in your realm, and that's kind of balanced out. So he's upside down, so he's muted and diminished, which is balanced out with an upside down hangman, which back in the day was a bad symbol, and in this aspect he's not is basically like the Odin individual looking for alternative views, considering different paths, which kind of, since he's upside down and the devil's upside down, that's a very interesting parallel. But the hangman needs to be upside down. So part of his life is upside down because we see the Ankh is upside down. So that kind of matches with the devil being upside down. This is an interesting pair. I haven't had this one come up too often over the years, but that is a really interesting pair. So if we could consider the hangman being Odin, hanging upside down for all of those days, and then the runes were finally revealed to him, there must have been some devil aspect going on with that. We know Odin was a magician, and so we work with the devil, angels, different spirits, different beings. But the guy that has his hand on the throttle for material revelation in this aspect is the devil. And that's kind of interesting. So once Odin passed the test, then the revelation came. That's kind of, I just think that's really cool how these two are matched up. So in the center card, I call it a spine card, or this whole row is the spine. So this is the pivot, this pivot card right here, and that's a star, which is interesting because we're working with the star. The moon was one of the wandering stars back in the day, and so it is another revelation card, and it's its deep meaning, kind of like the stardust comes and brings life if there's something to cause the life to come forth. And in this case, there's some balance, and we'll see that here in just a moment. So having the star as your heart or your spine during this new moon session, I find to be a very excellent card to have there. So going to the right some more, we have an upside down Fool card. So he's diminished or muted. And then we have Temperance, which is another perfect balance compared to these guys with the Star card right in the middle. This is really a cool line. So the Fool, generally he's going on this experience. You know the story. He's going on this experience, and his eyes are wide open, and he's just going for it. He's just going kind of gangbusters, and not being entirely cautious like he should be, which is balanced out with Temperance, which is all about putting the proper amount of part A and proper amount of part B to bring tempering to the situation. And so if you're able to see her mixing the magic elixir of life, she is this reconciling figure that brings stability and balance to whatever situation is taking place. Well, we see that the Fool has got himself upside down, and so she's bringing some balance to that. So maybe he needed to be calmed down a little bit, right? Maybe not so much going gangbusters into something you don't know or understand. So that is balanced out over here with the Odin. So we can see Odin. I call this the Odin card. He's the Pinyu. He's the Hangman. In this case, like I said, he is kind of like the Hermit card, where there's considering other alternatives. This card is considering alternatives on the outside, whereas the Hermit is considering alternatives on the inside. Well, he is right side up, and Temperance is right side up. The Devil is upside down, which tends to exaggerate things, and the Fool is upside down, which he exaggerates things, going into it without knowing the whole deal. So these two are balanced, along with the Temperance and with the Odin, the Hangman card. I find that to be pretty wonderful. Now, here's something that's going to be a little different to understand. And so we've got the Death card, which is not bad. And then we have the Magician, which is, of course, not bad. But this is kind of a crazy thing to look at. So we've got one magic card, which is the Devil. We got another magic card, which here in the foundation is the Magician. And then we've got a Temperance, which she's adding the elixirs of life, which is magic. And you see that these two are balanced, and in the spine is very balanced because of the star. Okay? Take a look at this. So Death, which is diminished, and the Magician may be in a Redeemer type of setting, causing the Death perhaps to not be so long, or not be so strong, or not be so harsh. Now remember, the Death is the end of a sequence. It's not a bad omen. It means the end of a sequence and the start of another, which is perfect because this is what? This is the new moon reading for this cycle. Well, how much more cool is that you get the end of one cycle and the start of another as the foundation. So we're finishing this one cycle, we're starting another one. These two are matched up. The Magician is balancing out the power of the Death, so he is overcoming death. That's the way I'm seeing this, is that he's showing or giving the ability to overcome death, and have this as the foundation card is pretty darn cool. So Okay, that's our reading. That's 10 minutes into it. And that is the October 2021 new moon reading. So there you go. Hope you all enjoy it. Have a wonderful day. Take care.